I just moved for the 7th time in the last 4 years. How cute is this cup, by the way? It's from CB2 and they also have a coffee mug version. I am obsessed. I'll link it below. This is my iced coffee with the Chobani peppermint mocha creamer. All of the Chobani creamers are so good. You have to try, but especially peppermint mocha. So hopefully I start to come a bit more to life as this video goes on, thanks to this right here, because I'm sure you can tell I am exhausted. I have just been exceptionally busy recently, like over the past few months, even more so than normal. So adding the move on top of that just kind of like pushed me over the edge. But nothing a nice little sit down chit chat, get ready with me can't solve. So per usual with my videos like this, I'm going to be applying skincare and makeup on camera. I'm not going to be talking through the products I'm using. They will all be listed and linked in the description box below in order of application, and and there will be pop-ups on the screen as I begin to use each product so you can see what I'm using, and then I'll actually be talking about other things. Okay, let's get down to business. So you know what I need? These Lumify eye drops. Save me. So you did already see this new space in the last video that I posted. I had to get that up because that was a sponsored video with apostrophe, and I didn't have time to film this video first. So we're a little out of order here, but this is one of my new setups for filming. I love it so much better than the last one. I'm really excited, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up a little bit. So I did just move into a house. I am officially a homeowner, and I feel like that happened so quickly. Like I feel like I just moved back to Minnesota a few months ago, but it's already been a full year. And initially when I decided to move back here from Chicago, I made the decision to rent for a year before purchasing. I didn't want to be worrying about buying a property when I was still in Chicago in another state, and just with where I was at mentally at that time, there's no way that I would have been able to just like deal with the additional stress that looking for a home brings and becoming a homeowner. At that time, I was unwell, so it was the right decision for me to just rent for a year, kind of like gather my bearings again, think about where I really wanted to purchase a home, and then once that year was up, get down to it. Once I realized it was time for me to start seriously thinking about buying a home, I feel like I was like, what am I doing? It felt so weird and almost irresponsible, even though it's a very responsible thing to be doing. I think I just grew up my whole life thinking that I would follow a very traditional path and I would, you know, be purchasing a home with my fiance or my husband, and I never in a million years thought I would be buying my first home by myself. So I think that just made me feel like I was doing something that, again, was kind of like irresponsible and jumping the gun, but the reality is I'm gonna be turning 30 this summer, so this is actually, you know, the responsible adult thing to be doing. This is just like, you know, what you do when you're gonna be turning 30. And especially having Elsie, I was like, I want this girl to have a yard and just more space to play. She's such a playful, energetic dog, and already she is just loving it. I'll be downstairs in the kitchen and I can hear her stomping around upstairs, just like running around looking for toys. She's in heaven. I'm really lucky to have found a house that I loved so much. I know that the market has just been tough. There's not a lot available in Minnesota right now. And I know a lot of people will be searching for a home for like, oh my gosh, almost 2 years before they're able to find something. I only toured a handful of houses before I found this one, and I knew right away it was the perfect fit for me because it felt like somewhere that I could really like establish a work home living situation. That made literally no sense. What I'm trying to say is there were several homes that I toured that I really loved, but they just felt like they were made for a family and nothing else. And I obviously don't have a family right now, even though that's something I definitely want in the future. So it was important for me to find something that I felt would work really well for me to both live in, but then also work in. Like I was really hoping to find a home that had multiple workspaces, like a place that I could sit and work on my computer and have that be separate from where I sat down to film, and then other places in the house that I could set up equipment to film. That's what I was envisioning, since that's, you know, obviously what I do for work. Sweetie, do you want to say hi to everyone? So you guys, I live in a house now, and I love my yard and sniffing outside before I go potty. Isn't that right? She just wants to play. Wait, before I apply this foundation, this is the House Labs foundation that I got during the Sephora VIP sale. I have been loving it, but it is definitely a fuller coverage, just more like flawless makeup-y look. So I've been loving adding a little bit of the In Beauty Project face glaze to it, and I'll just mix these two together for a little bit more of a natural look. Like obviously not natural, but just less intensely full coverage and a little bit more skin-like. Not that this isn't skin-like, but I think just because of the level of coverage, something like this helps to just like freshen it up. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, so I'm just super excited to have found a house that really fit what I was looking for, and I've already had a few friends come in here and they all have commented on that, like, oh my gosh, there's so many places for you to like set up and work and film, and I was like, yep, that's exactly what I was looking for. So yeah, I'm super excited about it. I have had some requests to do a house tour, and that is not something that I am going to do. I am way too paranoid about people finding out where I live and just like safety, not feeling safe. I obviously really want to make sure that I feel safe given that I live alone. I used to always say I would never get a house by myself because I'm just too paranoid and too scared, and I always felt so much safer in an apartment than I thought I would in a house, because in my head I was like, okay, if there's someone that's gonna break into an apartment building, they have to gain access to the front of the building and then upstairs and then happen to select the exact unit that I'm in and then be able to break into that. Like that's how I think about things because I'm crazy. So anyway, all that to say, I just would not feel safe doing an entire house tour, so I'm not going to be posting that. However, I'm really excited for you guys to see the different setups that I have for filming. I really hope it kind of just like brings, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like bring some fresh air to this channel and you guys just like, I don't know, enjoy the vibes of the new backdrop. So this is one of them. This is where I want to always have seasonal backdrop set up. So I don't know if you guys can see the Christmas happening back there. I have another one that is a little bit more of like a library feel. I have bookshelves with my books in it. Since you guys know I am a complete book nerd and I'm obsessed with reading. And then there's at least one other spot that I could film in as well. I feel like I'm making this sound like I have a 12-bedroom home with like all of these different filming rooms. That's definitely not the case. It's just I have more options than the one space I was in my old apartment. Doesn't that look so pretty? I am obsessed. That also covered this up pretty well. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Maybe I'll just go over it with a tiny extra drop of this foundation. It's just a post-acne mark. I haven't broken out in a really long time, at least not like this. Definitely a stress breakout. I got a few from this move. I also, it wasn't a sty, but it looked like that. Like my eye really swelled up, and it happened 2 times, and it like hurt, was red, really swollen, but it didn't have that bump that a sty has. I have no idea what it was, but that is something that happens to me when I get stressed as well. Okay, yeah, nice. Next update on the agenda, Trichology. A lot of you have been asking for an update on how that course is going and just where I'm at with it. So I think I told you guys in a previous video that I have completed all of the reading for the entire course. Right now, I'm just in the process of actually studying everything and making sure I have everything memorized for the exam. I believe that I'll be taking the exam at the end of February, and then I do have some in-person training left. But then after that, I will be done with the course. I have definitely learned a lot through this, and I am excited to just continue to bring that expertise to my videos. I did post a video recently that really was informed by things I've learned in my Trichology course, and I will list that video in the description box below. It's a video talking all about shampoo and whether or not it can actually make your hair fall out based on the increased reviews we've seen online with claims like that. So if you've gone to look at a new shampoo online and you've seen reviews under it saying that that shampoo caused that reviewer's hair to fall out, that's what I'm gonna be talking about, because I have been seeing that underneath basically every shampoo these days. And yes, that's a video that I had been thinking about making for over a year, but I just never felt like I was in a position to really talk about it from a place of expertise. But since everything that I learned in my Trichology course, I was like, okay, okay, I can 100% tackle this now because I know for certain what the answer is. So that's really exciting for me. You guys know, I love learning about hair science. I love learning about the science behind any beauty topics I talk about. And after I finish this Trichology course, I'm gonna take a little time to think about the next best step for me in my education journey and like what makes the most sense. I feel like when I first told you guys that I was going to be getting this certification, I saw a few comments like, why wouldn't you just go like become a dermatologist or, you know, things of that nature? And I was like, you guys, that's like an 8-year process. And for me personally, that doesn't even feel like the right move for me because dermatology is really about skin conditions. And, you know, that obviously includes your scalp. So like skin on your face and your scalp, your entire body really. But even if I was able to get that kind of degree in a much shorter amount of time, I still don't think I would because it doesn't really feel like the right move for me personally. My passion is more so in the understanding of product formulations and ingredients and how they interact with our hair and our skin, and less about the diagnosing and treatment of skin conditions, which is definitely the primary focus of dermatology. So that's why I've been thinking more about things like cosmetic chemistry and just various focuses of education in that realm. But I will get there when I get there. I'm definitely not there yet, not ready to make that kind of decision because I need to pass my Trichology exam. I'm really focused on studying for that right now. I did have to take about a 3-week break from studying because of this move, so I'm excited to get back into it because I not only want to be studying to pass the exam, but I also want to make sure that I'm fully and completely understanding everything so that it can actually inform my content, because that was the purpose of me taking this course in the first place. Oh my God, there's about 1 million birds flying overhead. I don't like birds. I did also want to let you guys know that I know I said I might start doing consultations after getting my Trichology certification, but I have made the decision that I will not actually be doing that. And the reason for that is that I just would not have any time at all. I don't even know what I was thinking when I said that, because where would that fit into my routine? I'm maxed out as it is. There's no way that I would have time to take on individual clients. Like if I was gonna do that, I would want to make sure that I had enough time to really dedicate my energy in a meaningful way to each client individually, and I just do not have time for anything like that. Instead of me being able to do that, I'll be able to upload videos that help to answer and address the questions that you have that are more specific to hair loss and scalp conditions and things of that nature that I didn't really have the expertise to answer, but I definitely will after I have this certification. Okay, the last thing I wanted to address about Trichology is something that I saw in a few comments on the video that I posted about this time last year, maybe in the spring, when I told you guys that I was going to be doing this course. And that is whether or not Trichology is a scam. I did definitely see a couple comments saying things of that nature, like Trichology is a scam. The trichologists that I've seen posting content online don't know what they're talking about. They're scam artists, you know, things like that. And how do I want to say this? I mean, I can confirm that it's definitely not a scam. The course itself is legitimate and everything I'm studying makes sense for what Trichology is. However, where I think things get muddy and where I think that sentiment or the idea that Trichology is a scam comes about is by individuals who do have their Trichology certification kind of posing as medical practitioners online. And that is scammy behavior for sure, because Trichology is not a medical degree in any way, shape, or form. Trichologists are not medical doctors. They are not allowed to give you medical advice. They're not dermatologists. And I definitely agree that it's really shady for anyone with a Trichology certification to act like it's at the same level as something like that. I mean, like I just said, it takes like 8 years to become a dermatologist or any other sort of medical doctor, right? Like 6 to 8 years. And it certainly does not take that long to get a Trichology certification. The specific course that I am in has to be completed within 2 years. So it's not something I would ever relate to anything in the medical field. Instead, it should be more so thought of as something kind of in the realm of like getting a cosmetology license. So hopefully that helps you guys to understand how I think about Trichology. I will absolutely never be sitting here with like a lab coat on acting like I'm a doctor instructor. Like, you're just not gonna see me doing that ever. Again, the only change you are going to see in my content as a result of this certification is just that my content is more informed. Oh my God, should I give you guys a dating update or what? Okay, if you didn't see my last date night get ready with me, I will list that below. I told you guys a few different Hinge/dating stories and you guys really loved that video. And in that video, I told you guys that I was going on a 4th date with somebody that was a great guy, like really had everything I was looking for in a partner as far as values and things like that. But I told you guys that I just wasn't quite sure if the connection was there and if it was a romantic interest or if, you know, that wasn't really there and the vibes were just more on the friend level. So I went on that date and very friend levelly. He seriously is such a great guy. I have nothing negative to say about him. No like crazy stories like greasy coconut hair boy. Nothing like that. I just personally did not feel a romantic connection, and I think I was hoping that I would feel that by date 4 and that it would grow because of the fact that, you know, what I was looking for in terms of values and things of that nature were aligned, but I wasn't feeling it at all, you guys. There was literally no spark. And I think that also made me realize I am done trying to force people like that to work out. I have done that a couple times now where I keep giving somebody a chance because on paper, everything lines up and they're a great guy and they would make a great life partner, even though I basically feel nothing towards them on a romantic level. I hate the word romantic. It just like, it sounds so formal, but I basically just mean like outside of being friends. I've done that a few times now because I keep hearing like, give those people multiple chances. Don't give up on people like that. But I think I can officially say that I know for certain I am not the type of person that is suddenly going to start feeling romantic feelings towards someone if they're not there at all to begin with. Like, I'm just not. All that's gonna happen is I'm gonna get the ick. That has honestly been my biggest problem in dating over the past 2 years. Everybody gives me the ick, you guys. Literally everyone. And once somebody icks me out, like when that moment happens, you guys know what I'm talking about. For those of you that have gotten the ick, it's like things are good, you're seeing the potential, you're excited about this person, and then one little thing happens and it's like, and everything shifts and you can't look at that person like you used to, and like, oh my God, it's stressing me out just talking about it. But that has seriously happened to me several times now, and once that switch happens, nothing will make it go back. It just keeps getting worse. Like this last guy that I went on the 4th date with, I remember I was texting my friends like, I don't know, he's such a great guy. I don't want to write it off yet. But at the same time, I'm not feeling super excited to go on this date. I'm not feeling any of those romantic feelings. There's no spark, blah, blah, blah. And one of my best friends was like, I mean, yes, he sounds great, but at the same time, I know you and I just like don't think you're gonna feel anything after this next date. You're right. And I didn't. So that's the update on that guy. I actually have not been on a date since that 4th date with him. I've been on Hinge since then, but there's been nothing that's turned into a date. And I actually just recently decided to delete Hinge for a while because it just feels like a chore right now. And I feel like I keep logging on and just like seeing nothing, and I'm scrolling, like trying to put in an effort, but there's just nothing. And I feel like I end up wasting so much time on the app in an effort to like feel like I'm putting in an effort. And then I just feel like I wasted so much time for no reward. So I decided to delete it for the time being. Through the holiday season, I'm like, I'm not even gonna have time to go on dates anyways, so I'm just gonna delete it for now. I know I don't have to delete it, but I feel like for me, if it's sitting on my phone, I feel obligated to check it, and like, I just don't freaking feel like it right now. So I'll re-download it in the new year at some point. I don't know. I'm kind of feeling not like, I don't want to say defeated because that sounds dramatic, but like the less dramatic version of defeated about dating. I really want a family. Like that's definitely something that I want. And of course, I want to be able to find a husband that is my best friend and somebody that I do have romantic feelings for, and I want to start a family with that person. And I think, you know, being the only person out of all of my friends who does not have that right now, it's definitely just like, it's such a bummer. I just would love to be in this phase of life with them where they're having their first babies and planning for their second babies and just families in general and married life. I would love to be part of that, and I'm not. So hopefully I will find my person, but thankfully that's also not affecting how happy I feel right now. I think when I lived in Chicago, because I was so isolated and so lonely and so sad all the time, feeling like I wasn't able to participate in that stage of life with my friends made me even sadder. But because I am like so content and happy here with my life right now, that's not something that makes me feel sad. I definitely am like, it's such a bummer when I think about it, but it's not something that puts me in this horrible mood or like, you know, really sad mindset. Mentally, I'm doing great. I am so happy with where my life is at right now. Aside from that, I still absolutely love my job. I have so much passion for everything that I'm researching for content and the whole creative process. I really am loving it, and I'm so thankful for that, of course. I know not everybody loves their job. I'm with my family all the time, which just makes me so happy. I feel like that has definitely been the biggest highlight of the past year and moving back to Minnesota. I feel like I've spent more time with my parents in the past year than I have in like the past several years combined. And I feel like I'm always gonna look back on this phase of life and be so glad that I had all this time to spend with them. Like, it's so precious to me. And I have Elsie, who is the absolute love of my life. I am obsessed with her. You guys, I literally, sometimes I cry myself to sleep. Not like sobbing, but sometimes I'll have like tears as I'm falling asleep snuggled up to her because I just love her so much. I like don't know what to do with myself. And I've had her for almost a full year now. So like that is my baby. I am so, so happy that I have her. Deciding to get her last minute on a whim was honestly the best decision I have ever made for myself. Like, that is mom's girl. That is mom's baby. So yeah, I feel really, really happy and content because of all of that. And I'm so grateful for that because, oh my God, I was just a mess last year. I'm not even gonna attempt to dive into that in this video today because I feel like I still need to do an entire video at some point really sharing what happened and what I went through. Like, just with my health scare and how that affected my mental health. Because I know a lot of you did want to know things that I did to help myself kind of work through that phase and tips that I had for dealing with anxiety. A lot of you actually commented that you also have health anxiety, or that you did not know that health anxiety had a name, but after I talked about it, you were like, yes, I have that too. So I don't know, maybe I'll do a get ready with me at some point, just talking about mental health and just everything that I went through, because I think after that, now more than ever, mental health is just so, so, so important to me. It's definitely a topic I'm passionate about, and I feel like I've learned so, so much in the past couple years. So I would love to do that if you guys are interested. Health anxiety is a biatch. And I know those of you that struggle with it know that too. And I think, you know, I felt better seeing your comments for those of you that deal with it, that, you know, of course I don't want anyone to struggle with it, but just knowing that there are other people out there that deal with those same kinds of worries that you do, it does make you feel better. And I know a lot of you felt that same way in watching my video and reading other comments from people who also experience it. Anyway, I feel like this video was a bit all over the place with like no one huge purpose, but I guess that's kind of how Get Ready With Me's work. I mean, there was a purpose. Telling you guys I moved, updating you on the last dude. Trichology updates. They just were all like small updates. There was no one huge thing. Maybe that's why I feel that way. The hair. I don't even think I'm gonna try because I need to wash it. That's what I need to do. Oh wait, but I do want to put on some perfume. This was sent to me in PR last week, I think. And I really love the original Valentino Born in Roma. I'm obsessed with hot pink right now. Can you tell? I'll link this below if you want to know where I got it. Ever since Barbie, I'm obsessed with hot pink. All right, you guys, that is it for today's life update. Get ready with me. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me today in this kind of laid back, chill video. Let me know in the comments below if you have any thoughts or comments or questions on anything that I talked about in today's video. Again, don't forget that everything I applied to my face in this video is already listed and linked in the description box below. And if you did enjoy today's video and would like to see more from me, it would really mean a lot to me if you could give this video a thumbs up, subscribe subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and send my channel to a friend. Thank you so much for doing those things. It really does help to support my channel, and that means so much to me. Thank you for watching my videos. I love the freaking heck out of you guys. Make sure to stay tuned for my next one because that will be up in a few days. But until then, I hope you have a great few days.